Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Kent, this isn't a Mercedes-Benz. I can hear the jokes already, and I probably will end up having to read a lot of comments, but hey, come on, just give me a break. I'm a car guy. I like cars. And I owned Alfa Romeos back in college, so there's a little bit of sentimental value. Sure, I know all the jokes related to Italian cars, but come on, let's face it, this is a cool car. Well, I'm sure some of you may not agree, but this is a very recent acquisition. It's a 1987 Alfa Romeo 75. In the North American market, it was called the Milano. And I found this car when I was looking for a good engine and some suspension parts for my GTV6 Maratona. Now, the engines are the same, a lot of the suspension parts and rear end are the same between those two cars. And when I saw this car advertised locally, that it only had 78,000 miles, I thought, what a great way to get this car and pull the engine and the rear end, transmission, all out of this car and put in my Maratona. So I went off to Seattle, and after driving this car, I said, man, this thing runs and drives great, and it's a blast to drive. So I bought it, brought it home, and after I got home, I started looking around. I said, hey, just a minute here. This car is way too nice to take apart. So I just want to share this with you. I love finding these old original cars that have been kept in great condition. And this is probably one of the best Maratonas you'll see that has not been restored. So follow along. Let's open up the hood and I'll show you the engine first. One of my favorite parts about the Alfa Romeo is the grille and the emblem. I just love that Alfa emblem. It's one of my favorite of all time. Now let's move up and take a look at this engine. It's a V6 2.5 liter, very well known and respected engine, and you should hear this thing roar when you get up to about 5,000 RPM. It has a sweet exhaust note to it. And this engine compartment here has not been touched by me. I have not detailed it yet, so it's pretty original as you see it. Check out the condition of the trunk. Look at these original stickers here, the condition. And then it has this really cool little toolbox with the Milano logo in the lid. And this is pretty nice. You can keep all your spare belts, jacks down there, spare filters, and so on. And it came with all of the original owner's handbooks. Excellent condition, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has that nice Alfa logo embedded into that rear carpet on the back inside there. So I know it's not a big trunk, but I tell you, it's in really nice condition. Before we move up to the interior, I've just got to show you this rear shelf here. This is probably one of the things that convinced me to keep this car intact. When was the last time you saw a rear carpet shelf with fabric interior that wasn't rotted like this with a car this old? Just take a look at this fabric interior. This is what I feel is amazing. You just don't find fabric interior on a car this old that's not soiled. And look right back in here on the driver's side. You don't even see any wear through on this corner here, which is so typical on a lot of Mercedes as well. There's some really unique features on the dash as far as instruments and so on. If I have enough interest, I may do a later video on some of the specifics of the electronics and instrumentation in this car. I think you can see from the scenes I just showed you why I'm so excited about my recently acquired Milano. This thing, once again, is just a kick to drive. When I need sound, I need that high revving peak noise, and when I need to actually manually shift a transmission, this is the car I roll out of the garage and take it for a spin. Now granted, it doesn't ride quite like a Mercedes-Benz, but it does have soul. You Italian car lovers know what I'm talking about.